Planet Sheen is a spin-off of the series The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, which is a spin-off of the film Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. The idea for the animated series came about while the DNA animation crew were working on The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. During its production, they were coming up with ideas for a new animated series just in case The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius should end. From this, Keith Alcorn and Mike Gassaway came up with Red Acre, what should be in the place of Planet Sheen, but we'll get into that shortly. The show was about an adult fast food worker who got launched into space, and crashed into a planet filled with dim-witted aliens. The idea was pitched to Nickelodeon and they loved it, but weren't going to give it the green light because they didn't want a show that focused on the adult being the main character. They then pitched their idea to Kids Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, and Disney, but none of them were interested in the idea. Left with no other option, they had to rewrite the show to make it focus on Carl and Sheen instead of an adult. Carl and Sheen should have been the ones stealing Jimmy's rocket and crash landing into a planet far away. But when the idea was pitched to Nickelodeon, they were not fond of Carl being a part of the show. They wanted the show to focus on only Sheen. But the team came up with a clever way to make Carl to still be a part of the show, by making him into an alien that looks and has the same personality as Carl. Also, initially the Emperor Xenu was going to be evil and Sheen was going to be a double agent working for the Emperor, and the resistance was going to be led by a Cipher, but the idea was scrapped because it sounded similar to the Avatar movie. However, the new idea was accepted by Nickelodeon and was put into production immediately. Planet Sheen premiered in the United States on Nickelodeon on October 2, 2010, and continued to air there until August 18, 2011. In the show, Sheen is blasted into outer space and crashed into a strange planet, 4,000,001 light-year away from Earth, after going into Jimmy's lab while he was not there and doing exactly what he was told not to do, by the written note that was left on the rocket ship by Jimmy. After pressing the button, the rocket took him far away from home. He crash-landed in Dorcas's house, destroying Jimmy's rocket and making him to be stuck on the planet Xenu, with the Xenuians. While being on the planet, Sheen is well favored by the Emperor, who believes that he is an ethereal being sent by the heavens that will bring joy, and made him his new supreme royal advisor. The Emperor's daughter, Princess Umlaut, has a crush on Sheen, but he doesn't feel the same way for her, and wants her to leave him alone. Sheen also made friends with a slug-like creature who looks like Carl named Doppy, an intelligent talking chimpanzee named Mr. Nesmith, and he also developed a love interest for a beautiful Glimorian warrior girl who is also his friend named Asifa. Along with the friends that he has made, Sheen unintentionally made an enemy out of Dorcas, an evil sorcerer whose house he crashed into and whose job he got when the Emperor made him his new supreme royal advisor. Dorcas tries all he can to destroy Sheen, but his plan would always backfire on him. Throughout the series you can see Sheen coming up with strange ideas that sound silly and should not work, but in the end they work. Also, he is seen working on his rocket to get back to Earth. And the episodes always end with Sheen writing to his grandmother, then making the letter into a paper plane and tossing it. In the midst of the airing of the series, the show was moved to Nicktoons on May 4, 2012, where all the remaining episodes were aired. A sneak peek of Planet Sheen aired on January 2, 2011, on Nickelodeon Canada, and it officially premiered on Nickelodeon Canada on January 5, 2011. The series debuted in Australia and New Zealand on Nickelodeon on July 21, 2011. Planet Sheen also aired on Nickelodeon in the UK and Ireland, with a sneak peek on May 2, 2011, and an official premiere aired on June 6, 2011. Planet Sheen was not well received by the viewers and had to be cancelled after its first season. The viewers hated that Sheen was made the comic relief of the show and that the show lacked character development. The show is considered to be one of Nickelodeon's worst shows of all time. Because the show ended after its first season, those that were invested in the show didn't get to see whether or not Sheen reached back home. Planet Sheen was also supposed to have a TV movie, but it was dropped because the production cost for the film was too high, the ratings for the series were low, and several of the writers moved on, so the movie had to be cancelled. Planet Sheen was the last show produced by O Entertainment for Nicktoons, and one of O Entertainment's final projects in general. We have come to the end of the video. If you want to see more videos like this, then subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.